Oh, are you gonna open the church tonight?
I can.
That'd be swell, Kathy, I love it.
Okay.
Okay, let me see. Kathy.
Oh, she can do it. Yeah, good. Yeah, Jennifer, you can do
What
it.
was it, a sign?
Well, if you need a curtain, Jennifer's our official curtain puller.
Oh, okay, then not Kathy, but Jennifer. Is that okay with Kathy?
Of course. Oh, good. Not the naughty list. The naughty, we're on the nice list.
Is she?
I need to talk about it. Yeah.
Did you want to?
Thank you. Yeah, I was wanting to go.
Anyways.
Bet you there's something cheaper now.
Let's take that. When you wear that whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember that one. It's really yeah. I have never seen this. We're great. Okay. Anyways, and they can. Pieces made to ship the U.S. It's great. Both are. And anyway, it was his funeral.
You are very nice. You're on the nice list.
And he.
Santa's nice.
You're on Santa's list.
I called Doris and I said, I've never
What's that?
I went down and job.
I just do the mark. Everything I do takes years to fix out.
That's fair.
And who cares? I don't care.
Well,
You know, whoever wants to
he
pay
loves.
Good Shabbos.
I was afraid.
Oh, is that him?
Yeah, that's the greatest kind.
Oh, my God.
So they all,
I thought it was about a house.
oh, please, where's
You
that?
know, things that would die.
Okay, wait a minute.
He was.
Which is good.
Okay. It's weird. But he, I'll look at the room, but I said, nobody has, I think the are still there. The sound is gone. Even with the fire, my kitchen curtains are still there. I'd rather have somebody stand up.
I know.
And not on my head. But I
Let
mean,
me
I
go see if I
decorate
have
the table.
I know you haven't gotten that.
But he likes to cook. I put my vegetables on it. I don't mind paying. Yeah, me too. And broiling.
Well,
I don't broil almost everything.
Master Sergeant Gordon.
Oh, he was very good.
Very traditional.
Has anybody picked you out yet?
I haven't shown it to everybody.
Well, but if the one you showed it to anybody,
Well, the only one was Robert.
oh,
Yeah, nobody
Okay,
else.
I'm ready.
I never even looked over there, that was so funny.
Let me get a toss, if I can.
Robin, are you ready?
Yes, thank you.
Shall we start with our nigu?
Yes. Oh, you mean the Rosh Hashanah Nigu? Yeah, Devel.
Oh, whichever one you like.
That would be very nice.
Sure, Kabosni. Why not?
Thank you.
La 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 And I would like to ask our dear Rachel to come and bless the candles for us tonight. That is on page 120. Am I saying the right page, Ira?
121.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
I'd like to welcome all the people I haven't had a chance to meet yet. I can see at least one person that I haven't met. And of course, Henry's here. Yay! Hi.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher tishanu v'mitzvotav v'tzivanu b'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Translation, blessing.
And these candles give light to all who behold them. So may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. And their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light. So may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. O source of light and truth, creator and eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to the words we shall speak into our hearts and into our lives. Bless all those who enter this sanctuary in needs, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship and lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Amen.
Amen. Ready?
Continue our service this Shabbat Shuvah. You know, it has a special name this Shabbat. Shabbat Shuvah. That means the Shabbat of returning. Returning to tradition, returning to your soul, returning to a clean slate in life, right? You want to be sure that you have connected with all the people that you have a little, that Dave, the last time I saw him, we had words and it just wasn't quite right. I got to call him up and talk to him. You know what I mean? Yes. And just do it. Do it. You're going to feel better. You really will. And that's what Shabbat Shuvah is all about. Okay, we continue on page 138 with Lecha Dodi.
And remember, we do the first verse and the ninth verse.
Right. Shabbat a strong memory right now of the Shabbat I spent in Tzfat. Anybody ever been to Israel? In Tzfat, right? It's in the north. It's a very ancient city, made out of the same stone they made Jerusalem out of, the Jerusalem stone. And you know what they do? You wouldn't believe this.
Yes, they sell out of art galleries.
Oh, they have a lot of art galleries too, but the other thing they have a lot of is synagogues. Synagogues, little synagogues, smaller than this one, but each one of them has a Torah. So each one takes the Torah, they make a processional of all the people and all the Torahs. Maybe, I don't know, I was there in 1975 doing this, and the entire town, it seemed, was out there, maybe 300 people processing through the streets, and they sang every single verse of Lecha Dodi. And as we went through the streets, and then they would drop off each successive person with their particular Torah, and then they would begin their Shabbat Kabbalah services. Yeah, it was the most amazing thing. So I thought you'd like to know. And we continue on page 142 with Shalom Aleichem. I don't know if you have the extra copy.
I have them to pass out.
Oh, how great is that? Robin is on it.
There aren't enough, but that creates, it's here.
We have two extra copies, two extra verses.
Okay, we have neighbors that you get to know better from having them
Oh, yeah.
in your hand.
We have two extra verses on that page. Maya, did you hear about it? Yeah.
Is there some English you haven't composed?
I'm coming.
Is that my phone?
That's your phone?
Yes, it is.
Oh, then we don't need to make an announcement.
I was just saying, there's, you
I'm
can
going,
give an
gee, that looks
announcement.
like my phone. Thank you so much. Sorry. Oh, that little Dickens. Okay, thank you so much, Robin.
You are so welcome. And we
Okay,
will make more copies. It's just
Okay.
the last time I was going to do that, the office was locked.
oh darn. I hate when that happens.
Sorry.
Are we ready?
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharet, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem Shalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchni b'shalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Sefer Shalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Ein davar, no problem, no problem. We have welcoming and Ira announcements. Announcements.
Thank you, Rabbi, and for those of you who are here for the high holidays, this is much shorter, so. Oh, boy. You'll be glad for that. Services tonight are conducted by Rabbi Janet Bieber and our music director, Robin Preisberg. The Oneg Shabbat tonight is provided by the Barlow family and features the baked craft of Stacy Barlow.
Oh, yeah.
And if there is an abundance, I hope you're hungry. There is no religious school this Sunday, it's off. Yom Kippur evening Kol Nidrei services begin at 8 p.m. next Friday, a week from tonight. Yom Kippur morning services will begin at 10 a.m. Afternoon services will begin at 2:30. Yisker will be part of that service, and the Elah, the concluding service, will follow Yisker. If you own a shofar, you're invited to join us at the conclusion of Nila services for the final sounding of the shofar. And I'll bring mine if you bring yours, and we'll all hear and give Rabbi a little help with that.
Yay!
We continue to collect non-perishable food for local food banks and new unwrapped toys, not stuffed animals, they can't use those, and items for teens for Children's Hospital. The collection bins are in the hallway. You know where they are, you walk right by them. Also remember to designate Temple Beth Emmet of Burbank with the Ralph's Community Rewards or Community Contribution account that you have. You know how you put your number in whenever you go? You do that, you register Temple Beth Emmet of Burbank, not Anaheim. They're nice people, I used to go there. But they're not us. You need the money. They need the money too, to let their people go.
Right.
So it does add up. Now, in Temple Beth Emmet tradition, I have to ask, did I forget anything? No, there's no book club this month. There's book club in November, and I forgot the name of the book. Unconventional, unorthodox something. Anyway, it'll be on the website. It'll be in next month's High Times. And it's fairly short. You got 2 months to read it, so come join us. We enjoy having a lot of people at book club. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. We continue on page 146 with the Baruch Hu, and that's your cue, Jen. She's going to open the ark, and we're all going to rise for the Baruch Hu.
46.
46.
La 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 la. La 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 la. Let us continue on page 150, where it says, everlasting love, shall we join together? Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts, Therefore, Adonai and our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We would rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night, we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. On page 152, we rise once again. Yes, just in case you didn't get enough exercise this week, this is your prayer aerobics talking. Okay. Right. I thought it fit. Okay, and oh, by the way, I noticed many of you are doing this, and that's wonderful. When we do the Shema like this, yes, we do this, but when we have the Torah out, and we're doing it with the Torah, that's a different story. We don't do this inward look. We're all with the community. We're reenacting Sinai, okay? When we do it like this, okay, do this, because then you're reaching your inner soul and by way of your third eye, okay? Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod, Malchuto, we continue on page 154 with the Ve'ahavta. You know, we're a little bit on the high side. Can we go one note lower, one note? Okay. Okay, I think that's more than a note, isn't it?
Okay, you like this?
Ve'ahavta Adonai Elohecha bechol levacha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha vehayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha Tam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha uv'levtecha b'derech uv'shachbecha uv'kumecha ug'shartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uv'tachtam על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. On page 157, you may be seated, Jennifer. On 157, we have the reading at the top of the page. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt. There is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get there from here to there, except by joining hands and marching together. There is strength in community. That's what that's all about. We continue with the Mi Chamocha on page 158. And Robin, if you would like to, we could certainly sing it in the High Holiday Melody.
Oh.
How about that? Because we are right in the season. We might as well. We love that melody. Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, yes, this is, okay. So ready?
Mi chamocha vayim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, lo ratehi lo oseh malchutecha. How do you go? Malchutecha rabu anecha. בוקי הים לפני משה, ומרים זה ליאנו ואמרו, אדוני יראו לעולם ועד, ונאמר, כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, everybody, ברוך ברוך שמו, גאל ישראל. We continue on page 161. Together, let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, הפורש סוכת שלום, עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים. We come to Veshamru, on page 162. Veshamru, bnei Israel, moment that I'm told we love to ask if anyone has something special from their week to share this today with our congregation here. Yes, Bunny? Did you say something?
No, I said I was anxious to hear what people were gonna share.
Oh, okay.
When we've spent a lot of time here.
Okay. Yes, Mark.
I had a real encounter with Teshuvah this week.
Oh my, tell me.
Well, I acted in a way that was less than I would like.
Oh,
And
happened?
I aimed it at one particular person.
ah,
And later, when I had regained my senses
ah.
and my blood sugar came to the right point, I approached this person. But instead of indignant response, I had a very welcoming and loving response, to which this was a great neshama.
Wow, isn't that beautiful? So you got to clean it up right away. That's the best.
And
That's
it
the
added
best.
meaning. It added meaning to my
Your teshuvah.
this year's experience. with
Yes.
Rosh Hashanah. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. That's wonderful. You know, that is the number one goal. Once you start realizing that you really don't want to have these messes all around you, that if you have, things happen. You have a sharp feeling and you say something before you can stop it. It happens. It really does. So let's say you just hurt your finger, or you tripped or something. You're in a kind of a state, and somebody says something to you like, enjoy your trip last fall, or something like that, right? Right? That doesn't inspire you to be kind and sweet, does it? It's kind of, I'm not a fan of teasing for that very reason. What is teasing? It's kind of making fun of somebody who's having a hard time. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. But anyway, we all make these mistakes, and if you can do like what Mark did, and clean it up right away, then it doesn't hang over you, and every time you see that person, you don't go, uh-oh, I better walk the other way. So, so that you have a world that's free of that kind of shade, okay? Anybody else? Okay, well, that was very significant. Thank you, Mark. Yes. Oh, please, David.
Well, during my absence, I was back east in St. Louis for a carousel convention there
Oh,
last week ago, Monday. And then the day prior to my departure, I attended a memorial service for my friend Barbara Williams down at the Santa Monica Pier Carousel that Sunday morning before I flew into St. Louis. And during the course of our meeting there in St. Louis, we discussed quite a lot of, because a number of our members from our group have passed on. So we discussed a lot of it and asked if we put their names in memory. And then, of course, we had workshops, with carousel operations, maintenance, and things like that. So that was one of the highlights of the trip. And then one of the biggest highlights from that trip was a visit to the old Threshers Museum in Lincoln County, Missouri.
Oh,
Which
Threshers.
revealed a two-row carousel encased in a barn, which half of the barn rolls back to reveal the ride.
Oh,
So it was quite an adventure there, but it was drizzly and it was raining there during the course of that visit to the Lincoln County Old Town Threshers Group.
uh-huh.
So
That's why they have the movable.
that's why they have the movable
Right.
building there. It's on rails so that during the course when they have their annual meeting in September, they have all their exhibits and then they roll that half of the building back to reveal the carousel.
Mm-hmm.
So it was quite an educational experience. I was really thrilled to see that. That
Excellent.
was one of the highlights from my trip.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, David.
My pleasure.
Okay. I think that unless there's someone with something burning, then we will turn now to page 371. Oh, I surprised you there. That's the Misha Berach.
Yay.
Misha Berach, so direct your thoughts to anyone in your life who needs a little extra healing energy, and be sure to direct that energy to them, including yourself, including your friends, including your relatives, anyone who you know who needs some healing energy. And of course, that includes our dear, that we never stop praying for, the ones who are still hostages in Gaza. Also, people who are suffering all around the planet. And so we sing Misha Berach. We rise again for page 166 for the Amidah, and this is all silent, so find a nice paragraph to concentrate on, or maybe you want to say a certain private prayer between you and God with the support of the community all around you. That's also good. So take a moment. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable unto you. Be acceptable unto you. Adonai, my rock and my redeemer. Adonai, my rock and redeemer. Amen. You may be seated. We come now to time for the message of the week. And we do have a beautiful Torah portion. It's called Ha'azinu, or Lend Me Your Ear. Lend me your ear. Oh, you say, wait a minute, that sounds like Caesar, right? Well, you know, we didn't invent everything, but I guess Caesar came a little later than this. So, yes, it is interesting to locate all of these things in history and realize how central we were in the formation of Western civilization. I find it endlessly fascinating. So there is a midrash in the Talmud about our Torah portion tonight. And it's a story that is about Rabbi Yanai. As I said, it's in the Talmud. I'm going to quote it right now. It's a very, very short story. Once Rabbi Yanai was walking along the way when he met a man who was elegantly dressed. He said to him, "Will the master be my guest?" And the man replied, "As you please." Rabbi Yanai then took him home and questioned him on the Bible, but he knew nothing. On Talmud, also nothing. Finally, he asked him to say grace after meals, and the man, however, replied, "Let Rabbi Yanai say the grace in his own house." Rabbi Yanai then said to him, "Can you repeat what I tell you?" The man answered, "Yes." Rabbi Yanai then said, he insulted his guest in frustration. "Say, a dog has eaten Yanai's bread." He's talking about the guest. He's calling him a dog, right? The guest then rose up and seized Rabbi Yanai, demanding, "Where is my inheritance that you have and are keeping from me?" "What inheritance of yours do I have?" replied Yanai. And as the children recite, Moses commanded us that the Torah, an inheritance of the congregation of Jacob. That's in Deuteronomy chapter 33. That's in our Torah portion today. Okay, again, Moses commanded us the Torah, an inheritance of the congregation of Jacob. Okay. That was from, by the way, in the Talmud, a tractate called Vayikra Rabbah. Just in case you ever want to Google it, it's all there on Google, FYI. Okay, so it's an interesting story, right? Rabbi Yanai sees an elegant stranger, assumes he must be well educated. He takes him home in the normal manner of reaching out to a stranger, and discovers the man has had no Jewish education at all. He knows nothing of the rabbinic literature. He can't even say the Birkat HaMazon, the grace after meals. Rabbi Yanai, a Torah scholar, looks down at the guest with great contempt. But the stranger, with great dignity, says to him in effect, "The Torah is my inheritance as well as yours. Since you have much and I have none, share a little of what you have with me. So, what a powerful idea that Torah knowledge belongs to everyone. That everyone should have a chance to learn. That education should be universal. This idea goes so far back and so deep in Judaism that we can easily forget just exactly how radical it is, right? Think of Sir Francis Bacon. What? Sir Francis Bacon? Not a Jew. But he is attributed with a very famous phrase. He said, "Knowledge is power." Those who have it are usually reluctant to share it with others. Most societies had literate elites who controlled the administration of all the resources. Judaism was different. The birth of Judaism happened at roughly the same time as the birth of the alphabet. It appeared approximately at the age of the patriarchs. When I say patriarchs, who am I talking? Abraham, right? Isaac and Jacob, right? The earliest traces have been discovered in the Sinai Desert, in areas where slaves worked. That's archaeological digs. It's astonishing what has been found. Mesopotamia, where Abraham came from, Egypt, in the days of Moses, had the world's two earliest forms of writing. Number one, cuneiform, I'm sure you've all heard of it, and two, hieroglyphics, okay? Cuneiform and hieroglyphics, neither of which were alphabets. These never became standardized and they were not universally accepted. So a cuneiform, might have been in one little place, say in a little market where you knew that 3 marks on the clay slate means you took home 3 goats, and maybe 3 squares on there means you owe the guy who sold you the goats who knows how many bales of hay. I don't know. How did they do it? They didn't have money. But that's what we're talking about. The alphabet, however, with its mere 22 symbols, for the first time opened up the possibility of a society of universal literacy. See, it wasn't even available before. It's like the kind of innovation that we had when the internet came to be. It's changed everything. Can you imagine no alphabet to alphabet? Now we have a way to write things down, write our thoughts down, write discussions down, write progressive decisions down. Oh, and covenants, right? We're big on covenants, us Jews. Moses repeatedly speaks about education, as we have been saying, right? And in Deuteronomy it says, teach them to your children, talking about them when you sit at home, when you walk along the road, when you lie down, and when you get up. Oh, everybody knows those words. Yep. And they are in the Ve'ahavta, which we just said. That's from Deuteronomy, word for word. The verb with lamed, mem, daled, that's 3 letters in Hebrew, lmd, right? Lomed, lilmod. It means to teach. It occurs no less than 17 times in the book of Deuteronomy. And it is a motif of the book as a whole. The whole idea of to learn and to be educated. Of course, then there is the personal example of Moses himself. Moses himself, the greatest teacher that ever was. Dvarim, which is the book of Deuteronomy, as a whole, is an enormous adult education experience, right? Moses is the master prophet, taking the whole people as his disciples and teaching them both the law, the commands, the statutes and judgments, and no less importantly, the history that lied behind it. This rises to the climax and at the end of the book, which is the Song of Ha'azinu, this week's Parsha, which begins and ends with these words. Moses recited the words of this song from the beginning to end in the hearing of the whole assembly of Israel. And here's the quote. This is the blessing that Moses, the man of God, pronounced on the Israelites before his death. Moses commanded us the Torah, an inheritance of the congregation of Jacob. Note the insistence on the fact that Moses is speaking to everyone, not elite people. No, he's speaking to everyone, you and me and children and middle ages and old people and everyone that's present. The second quote contains a famous line quoted by Rabbi Yanai's guest as a proof that the Torah belongs to everyone. It is the possession not of the learned, not of the elite, the specially gifted, not of a class or a caste, but the inheritance of the entire congregation of Jacob. Not until relatively modern times did this idea of universal education spread beyond Judaism. Isn't that interesting? The earliest was the Education Act of 1870. Anybody familiar with that? That was in England. England was the most giant power at that time, right? They said the sun never sets on the British Empire. Well, that was the height of it. And they had the idea that education should be universal. It didn't really become universal until much later, but they had it in 1870. They had the idea. Of course, it has taken the internet revolution, Google and the rest, to make it a reality throughout the world. Remember, even the Talmud's on Google? Even today, so many children are still deprived of education. And that education is the key to human dignity. And it should be equally available to all. The fact that it should be available to all is one of the most profound ideas in all of history. It comes from these powerful words immediately following this week's Parsha. And with this I will close. Moses commanded us the Torah, an inheritance of the congregation of Jacob. Amen.
Amen.
Education is something we're all entitled to, but of course you have to avail yourself of it. It's not easy, but it certainly is very stimulating, and it's a wonderful thing to have available to you that you can enrich yourself all the way through your life. We continue now with the Aleinu, which is on page 586, and you guessed it. Yes, Jennifer, 586. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'aten gedula le'otzer reshit, shelo asanu keguyei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. 588. שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בקום חיינו רומים, הוא אלוהינו אחד, אמץ מלכנו, אפס זולתו, בהגדרתו בתורתו, ידעת היום והשמותה אל לבבך. שמיים ממעל ועל הארץ מתחת עינו. That on page 590, isn't it? No, 591. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו And we remain standing because we're going to turn to page 598, where we have the mourner's Kaddish. And we call to mind at this time those we remember tonight on the anniversary of their passing, as well as those we have lost in recent months. We have a very long list. But these are not people from the congregation. There are none of that.
There are intermingled.
Intermingled.
Yeah.
Okay then. Okay. So we have Julian Ben Moshe. We have Sam Rubin, Karen Lombardo, Ludmila Bet Yaakov, who is Eugene's mom, Elsie Noodleman, Marilyn Libarsky, Robert Bayer, Hilda Fogelson, Sheldon Brooke, Dr. Ruth Westheimer, Mario Caldron, Gerald Kippen, Tom Raffetti, Carmel Gott, Eden Yerushalmi, Hirsch Goldberg Poland, Alexander Lubanov, Almog Sarusi, Master Sergeant Ori Danino, Maggie Smith, Matthew Perry, Mildred Scaler, Riley Jang, Secretary Henry Kissinger, Justice Sandra Day O'Connor, Norman Lear, Donna Hirsch, Tommy Smothers, Stephen Cornales, Gail Deemer, Ilana Gleinert, Leona Zalman, Marilyn Zatuchny, Joseph Corwin, Fran Bernstein, Joel Sussman, Alan Brill, Richard Miller, Gerald Rosenfeld, Loretta Crone, Leon Leller, Gary R., Bonnie Aharon, Ron Shankman, Steve Lawrence, Senator Joseph Lieberman, Ron Caden, Joe Flaherty, Gary Schneider, Dolly Bat Elias, Lou Gossett Jr., Elise Greenfield, and Rosalie Odell. May their names, may their memories be for a blessing, and we join in the Mourner's Kaddish on page 598. And of course, we also are saying the Kaddish for all those who have no one to say it for themselves. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach cherutei v'yamlich malachutei, v'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei kol Beit Yisrael, v'agalau b'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah memarach le'alam u'lamei al-maya, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה ותושבחתה ונחמתה לאמירם בעלמא ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום רבה משמיים וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום ממרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. And we may be, well, I think we've come to the priestly blessing. So I am going to bless you, but you probably should just stand up for that. Okay, so one hand, because this hand doesn't go up so good. That's life. So we say, may God bless us and keep us. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Everyone, Kein yehi ratzon. May God's light shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. Kein yehi ratzon. And may we feel God's presence within us always, and may we have peace in our hearts. Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'asem lecha shalom kein yehi ratzon. And of course, that means so may it be God's will. Okay? Well, Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach. Thank you, Robin, and thank you, Jen. Yeah. Pull your straight tape out. Yes. It isn't. No, it isn't.
Since I did it,
Right?